Welcome to A Meaningful Marketplace.
I'm Sarah Masoni from Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center, where I've helped countless dreamers launch their new food products. It's the science of taking a food delight from the kitchen to mass manufacturing and still keeping its great taste. That's what I do. I've been called the woman with the $1 million palate, although I haven't tried to cash that check yet. Listen in weekly for real-life stories.
I'm Sarah Marshall, owner of Marshall's Hot Sauce and author of Preservation Pantry, modern canning from root to top and stem to core. I love inspiring business owners to get started on their journeys, encouraging folks to be part of their local community, and I'm excited to help business owners tell their stories. Join us as we explore the journeys of women entrepreneurs in the food and beverage industry. Hello and welcome to Masoni and Marshall, the Meaningful Marketplace. We are here weekly to discuss the journey of food entrepreneurs. We're glad you've joined us today as we bring you stories of hope and inspiration. This is Sarah Marshall, owner of Marshall's Hot Sauce.
And Sarah Masoni of Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah Masoni. How are you?
Good. You had a great weekend up in Seattle.
I did. I was up in Seattle for the week for a Renegade Craft Show, which we go up to every year. And it was wonderful. We had beautiful weather, which you never know with Seattle. Sometimes it can seem like it's going to be nice, and then the gloom and doom and rain comes in. But we had really nice weather, so everybody came out. There's lots of food carts, lots of food makers, lots of cool stuff happening. So we had a great time.
Sounds delightful. Did you have a favorite food experience while you were there?
Yeah, I did. I make a hot sauce for a restaurant up there called Wallace and Carpenter, and they opened a new restaurant called Lioness, and my husband and I went there.
Nice.
It's a women-owned business. Renee Erickson is the chef there, and it was really, really good and fun. So that was my favorite place. It had opened since the last time I was in Seattle, so I'd never been there before. Yeah, so we had a great time. Great food.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Seattle's such a fun place to explore. And yeah, it was really nice. And last week I got to see you, Sarah, at the Food Innovation Center.
That's right.
So that was good. I
had
had a great
President
time.
Murty here from OSU checking out the Innovation Center. She had never been here yet. She's been with us at OSU for 3 years. And she was pretty happy. We had a bunch of legislators and state representatives and fancy political types, and we got to tell our
everybody came
story.
through. It was so cool. It was impressive.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fun.
And I learned something about the Food Innovation Center that I didn't know, which was that the Oregon Potato Commission is based in there, and I never knew that.
Well, they've been here a couple years now, actually.
They have?
We just love having them as one of our anchor tenants. It's great.
Yeah, it was really nice. I got to kind of tour that area that they're in, and that was a new thing for me.
And I made the streaker barley scones.
Yeah, they were really good. I got to try one of those. I had the one with local strawberry rhubarb jam and with the streaker barley grown in Oregon. So very cool.
Yep. And we're going to be making that into a commercial product for the Beaver Classic. So all you beavs out there, watch for the barley scone mix.
Yeah, you'll get to try it. It's very good. Make sure to get one. Get one of those scones.
Yeah.
Well, I'd also like to welcome our co-host, Melissa Hemken from Central Wyoming College. Thanks for being part of our Wyoming experience. I'm kind of bummed, Melissa. We only have 2 more, don't we? Or is this it?
I know. No,
today
there's one
and
more
next week.
One more.
Yeah,
one
2
more.
more. Yeah, one more. We
get today and we get another one. But I'm sad it's coming to an end. But I hope that you
have to watch You have to watch the series Longmire, Sarah Marshall.
Oh, did you watch it?
Oh, we're addicted to it now. There's 9 seasons.
Melissa, have you watched it?
Oh, yes. Way back when it came out.
There's 9 seasons. You have to watch it.
We just found out about it on our last episode for our regular listeners.
My family's addicted now.
Did you spot Omar Rhodes in it?
Yeah, we saw Omar, and my husband's like, "What? That's the red pony. That's the same salsa we got in the mail this week." And I was like, "Yes, dear."
That's so fun. Yeah. Well, Melissa, we're glad you're here with us for a little while longer. Thanks for co-hosting with us as we keep learning about Wyoming.
You're welcome.
We want to thank our sponsor for supporting Missoni and Marshall. Thank you for helping us spread the word about entrepreneurs. Let's hear a word from our sponsor. The Northwest and Rocky Mountain Regional Food Business Center is the proud sponsor of the Meaningful Marketplace podcast, giving a voice to food from across the 6-state region of Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wyoming. The Food Business Center supports Northwest and Rocky Mountain food industry makers as part of the USDA's National Network of Food Business Centers, supporting a more resilient, diverse, and competitive food system as a go-to source for small and mid-tier food and farm businesses with a focus on underserved communities, providing education in the form of technical knowledge, business programs, and industry news. We sponsor trade shows, meetups, and conferences to connect growers, producers, retailers, distributors, and processors, all to stimulate business and raise the standards of our storied food industry. Join us as we travel through the 6-state region, learning more about food makers, food hubs, and food systems. Visit the website at Northwest Rocky Mountain Regional Food Businesses.com to get connected. So as we said, we've been partnering with the Regional Food Business Center to bring you stories from 5 regions around the country. So we're meeting with business owners from the great state of Wyoming, and I would like to introduce you to John Shumway, the owner of Shumway Farms in Star Valley, Wyoming. They create farm fresh products made by their family, taking great pride and stewardship in all things they produce. Welcome, John.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you.
We're so glad that you joined us on the show today, and we really like to connect our listeners with you. So we want to make sure that they can find you on social media and online. So can you tell them how to do that?
Yeah, shumwayfarms.com. Bear with us. We're under construction of a new website, and so our old site's still up and going, but it's not 100% up to date. But our social media, Shumway Farms YO, is our Instagram. My wife runs that, and then she also does her Facebook, and it's just Shumway Farms on Facebook as well. So we're not 100% up to date all the time, but we're trying. I
thought you were pretty easy to find.
Work
it all
in
looks
progress.
good to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have places for people to find you pretty easily, and we'll put those all in our show notes too, so people can find it. We like to start out with the origin story of our business owners, and we know for you it's going to be a few generations back and involving maybe some people immigrating, some Swiss relatives. But tell us the beginning of the family story.
Yeah, the Swiss relatives were the Wolfley side of my family, and they came to Star Valley, Wyoming, as we all know it. I want to say it was I'm not great with the dates. My brother is, but early 1900s, and the Wolfley side, they were all dairy farmers, and then it came, and the Shumway side, they were really not involved in farming until about my great grandfather, and he didn't even like Star Valley. But anyway, I'll spare you all the details. But he ended up here. My great grandfather on the Shumway side did. He was raised by his grandma, and anyway, so he ended up here, and the families just kind of merged, and my dad just so happened to be the bloodline that kept on farming, and here we are. I would be the 6th generation, not on the same farm. There's been several farms throughout the history of all of us. So, but we're here, and we're happy to be dairy farming still. Amazingly, we're the last. I shouldn't maybe say we're the last one. There's still a couple families that milk a couple cows and sell some raw milk and stuff close, but anything substantial that is producing on a larger scale is we're it. This was a cheese making valley. There was a creamery in every community scattered up and down this valley, and we're not a very big valley at all. We're 40 miles north to south, and there's going to be east to west. There's going to be some places that are, I hate to even guess because it might make me look like a fool, but we're just small. And lands disappearing right and left. Agriculture lands disappearing right and left. We've been discovered because we're right at the base of Jackson Hole. We're about an hour and a half-ish from Jackson Hole, and it's boiled over here to our valley. So
well, because you all make ice cream, I'm sure you're going to be there for a really long time.
We hope. Yeah, that's the goal.
John, you probably don't know this about Sarah, but she's a real ice cream expert and lover. And
I love ice cream.
Well,
I was like, how on earth do they have 32 flavors? Come on.
Yeah, it's tough.
Sarah, I love ice cream, but I finally tried Shumway yogurt, John. I've been around Shumway products for a few years, but I've never eaten it till last week. I bought it at Meadowlark Market that you guys are selling at in Lander now. I went and it's like ambrosia, Sarah. It's like ice cream.
Oh,
so you have to try the yogurt too.
Okay, I'll try the yogurt too.
I haven't tried your ice cream yet, John, but the yogurt ranked up there with ice cream for me.
I mean, from what I can tell, they have basically a grocery store available from their farm.
Yeah, we're very proud of our yogurt, and we're proud of our ice cream too. But our yogurt is it's been a journey to get here. There's no doubt, but we're happy where we're at, but we look forward to the future too.
Well, let's describe to our listeners your yogurt since we're on that subject. So, what makes it special?
So we're a full cream. It's tough I don't test my butter fat and say I'm going to standardize at say a 6%. It's a strained yogurt. It's an Icelandic skyr recipe, and so we at first my brother actually discovered it back east, and he brought it home with him and said, "Hey, we got to make this." And never in a million years would I have thought I would be here making yogurt and ice cream, because I wanted to raise cows. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And anyway, but so we started making this skyr, and nobody knew what skyr was.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, well, I guess we got to call it yogurt. And so we started calling it yogurt. And then we started with skyr first. What's skyr? And then we went to yogurt. And then we had people say, well, where's your skyr? I want your skyr. We said, well, it's there. It's just yogurt. And we've had several people come in and argue, like, that's not the same product. We said, I promise it is. Just shows you the power of the brain, you know. But the skyr, so it's a full cream, and we sweeten it with pure maple syrup. And that's kind of the difference maker.
Yeah.
Plus the cream. And so we're straining our way off in bags right now. We just became a licensed facility here in February. And so it took a long time to get there. We've had to modify equipment because we're not fully automated. We have the ability to get there with a mechanical separator from the whey, yogurt from the whey.
Yeah.
That's our next step. But right now it's bag straining, and then we have a huge Hobart mixer that we mix. That's how we flavor it. And then we have a nice PD pump, they call them, and it pumps it up into our filling machine, and it works great for us right now.
What do you do with the whey?
Well, it goes down the drain right now.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's tough to deal with. We have some hogs.
You can make some cheese out of it.
I know you can. You need to come make it for us.
They're too busy, Sarah. They have to raise the cows and then make the yogurt.
Oh my gosh!
There's. I'm sure you guys obviously probably know, but there's a difference between sweet whey and the sour whey, and we produce a sour whey, and so the pigs don't like that near as much as a cheese whey.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so I hope one day when we kind of get that mechanical separator set up that we can actually get it packaged in something that we can utilize it and make a value added product.
You can make it into a beverage.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have some folks here that make it into vodka.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you two are good people to know, because
you got to listen to all our shows and you'll find the vodka. They call it alcohol.
Oh,
alcohol.
They do.
Alcohol.
That's funny. Yeah. So right now we're definitely wasting a piece of product, but
but for just getting licensed in February, that's something like figuring out what to do with the second part of your product is usually something that's done later.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. But for
Someday.
now, you have your yogurt being made. It's very exciting. It's something that's new to your area. If people are listening to the show and live in Portland, can they get it shipped to them, or do you have to be in Wyoming?
So we just partnered with a ranch that is in Wyoming. Their name, I'll give them a shout out, I guess. Their name's
Sure.
the Beck Ranch. So they're going to handle our shipping.
Oh.
I have tried every manner to get rates down through UPS or FedEx or whatever to ship it that in a way that's economical for folks.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not been able to achieve that. But the Becks,
Yeah.
they do grass finished beef. Anyway, their shipping rates are phenomenal. And so we have successfully shipped yogurt and ice cream alone clear to, I think it was Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So yes, you can get it through them right now. That's what we're working on right now with our website to integrate. So when people get onto shumwayfarms.com, it will be as if they're ordering through us, but yet it'll go to the Becks and they'll get the shipping and everything, and they'll get their money. It'll all be set up pretty nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take us about a month to get there, but that's the route we're trying to go.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It freezes very nicely. That's the nice part. It'll freeze, and then people can just thaw it in their fridge, and you stir it up, and it's just like new.
Nice.
That's the skier. You can freeze that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And one other thing on there. We're trying to stick to as healthy as possible, but our flavorings and our colorings are all natural. So like we use beet juice,
Nice.
and purple carrot extract for our colorings.
Nice.
Our huckleberry is probably our number one seller. And anyway, so that's kind of another little tidbit.
I've heard that huckleberry described as huckleberry heroin. So the Shumway products have just gotten introduced into the town that I live in, Lander, because there's a new local food retail store that's opened up. And so there's a bunch of people like me who are finally trying Shumway yogurt.
When you say that, you mean it's delicious, right? Because we don't think of food as drugs.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
It's like you eat a whole tub and you got to have a second one. Like that's, yeah, you get hooked on it.
You want some more. Yeah.
How that customer remark
Do
came.
huckleberries grow in Wyoming? Or
They're
no?
rare. They're rare. Yeah. They are.
Montana.
Yeah.
Montana has
We
a lot
have
of
them in
huckleberries.
Oregon, but only like in where I'm from. Like the smallest town up in Welch's that's the only place that people can get them. And so where I grew up, they had a huckleberry festival, but like you can't get huckleberries really anywhere else in the state. So I'm just wondering if they grow there too.
Yeah, once in a while, if you're like, I found them on a horse ride before, but it's rare. But it's funny because people come to Wyoming and Montana, and huckleberries, like that's the flavor for some weird reason. But
it's one of my favorite flavors, and I love when people use it. But I just always wonder, like, if it's something that if it grows there all around, or if it's just like certain spots. I think the plants are really picky. Like they only want a certain elevation and a certain temperature, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it gets connected to Wyoming because there's a lot of tourism. So folks come to the Rocky Mountain West, and huckleberries somehow is melded to Rocky Mountain West.
That makes sense.
I even bought huckleberry lotion when I was in the area last summer. I was like, huckleberry lotion?
Did it smell like huckleberries?
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool.
Like
I've never seen huckleberry lotion, but where I am,
next time I see, I'll bring it and you can
there's
try.
always like huckleberry syrup is like a really popular thing, or like candies or ice cream, of course, flavors. And there's no yogurt being made up there, but if there was, I'm sure they would have huckleberry yogurt too.
It's nice. So let's move on to ice cream. How about it? How did you come up with 32 flavors? That's amazing.
Well, it's been a slow and steady grind. And once again, my brother actually, he started the ice cream side of things and brought the yogurt to the table. And then he had a change of, he had some things come up in his life that took him away from the farm. And so then all of a sudden I'm staring at an ice cream business it was in the growing phase, and of course we're still growing a lot. But so it was an interesting transition. So I just kind of had to take, and I shouldn't say just me. My dad is included 100%. Both my parents are, because without them, this farm wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be sitting here. So we kind of had to sweep it all up into the pan and decide where we were going to go with it. And we, at one point, honestly, we were going to just shut her down, because we just, our brains weren't there, and we all had to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, back to your question, 32 flavors. It's been over the course of, let's see, we are 2024. Holy smokes. I want to say 2016 was the first year. It could have been 2015 that ice cream was started. And so it's seven-ish year. We've just kind of added flavors.
Add a couple each year.
Yep. And so Wyoming, you two are probably familiar with the Wyoming Food Freedom Act.
Yeah.
We've been acting under that for all these years up until February.
Okay.
And so now that we're a licensed facility, we went retail I picked 15 flavors to go retail with, just in pints.
Nice.
And then now we can, and then also our like scooping tubs. We're going to have a few locations scooping the ice cream. But yeah, we've grown so much. We had to make a decision, just it's been an interesting journey.
Okay, so my two favorite ones from the list, one was called Camo, and the other one's called Blue Mint Oreo.
Yes. The Blue Mint Oreo is extremely popular, and we tried to stick to like local names. So Intermittent Springs.
Yeah.
Afton, Wyoming's home to the world's largest intermittent springs. It bubbles up out of the ground every 45 minutes, I believe.
Wow.
And it's the city of Afton's water source, actually. It's pretty cool. You can go right up to it and watch it rise and go back down, and it makes a waterfall down into the main river there. But so names like that we've incorporated. But now that we're kind of going out of our area into surrounding Wyoming towns, we're kind of rethinking some of those. But we haven't made any moves yet.
I actually like the Camo one. It had, I think, a couple different flavors of ice cream in there, maybe, or some different inclusions. It looked pretty interesting. Yes.
And forgive me, because we haven't made that one in a while. So now I got to go back and look at my own list. I believe it's a seasonal. It's a seasonal. Was it the hunting season one?
I think so. I was like, that's good.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a man ice cream for sure.
Yeah. So we try to do some seasonal ones. We're trying to come up with some new flavors. This summer we're going to do monthly specials. So our two May specials, we start scooping ice cream Memorial Day. The rest, Memorial Day through Labor Day, is our typical scooping
season. Yep, that's about right.
And the rest of the year, our pints and quarts are always available. And so May is going to be a strawberry rhubarb dessert plus a cookie butter. There you go. It's a cookie butter.
Cookie butter's in right now.
Yeah, it is. So, in fact, I think my ingredients just got here today. We got to get some tests made, but
nice.
So we're always trying to come up with something new and just keep it interesting. And the retail setting it's helping us, grow and get better.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and hear more about Shumway Farms.
Oregon State University's College of Agricultural Sciences and the Food Innovation Center are proud sponsors of Meaningful Marketplace. With a mission to serve all Oregonians, we are committed to giving voice to those whose food and agricultural stories are not always heard. By providing access and opportunity for a more diverse and just food system, because food brings people together. Well, let's talk a little bit about your raw milk. You have a raw whole milk, raw chocolate milk, and a raw cream. Is it still available, or how does that work?
So we switched. I didn't realize that hadn't been swapped on our website.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're okay. So the raw chocolate is now a pasteurized chocolate.
Oh, okay.
We made that decision here it's probably been about a year ago.
Okay.
And quite honestly, it was in a move. We were trying to get our license, and it just took us way longer than we thought. So we made the switch to that pasteurized product just a little early in the name of going retail. So now we're set up, but
allows you to go into distribution, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep. And we do all our own distributing right now. I mean, we're not huge by all means. We're growing, but
that's cool. Well, I noticed you have a lot of other things from your farm too. That's why I was talking about the grocery store. So you have grass-fed and finished beef, pastured pork, you have eggs and chickens, and you have some kind of a grass-fed club. What does that mean?
Yep. So the grass-fed club was a start and not finished product yet. The idea was we do some drop-off points throughout our valley, and we have a handful of people. So the idea was to get people on a more of a subscription base, and with
like
all the grass,
like a CSA or something.
That's a good idea, John.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the idea. Like I say, that now that the website's being kind of reconfigured and everything, and that was before our inspection came through and our license. So that's kind of on hold right now. But we do grass finished beef because we are actually 100% grass fed dairy as well.
Oh, and that's cool.
Yeah, and that's been a learning curve. I'll tell you that. That's a whole nother subject. We could speak an hour on that, and then our grass finished lamb. My brother, so I've had a brother here with my dad and me. So there's been three of us, and he just recently decided to go a different direction in his life. So we've had to really you
have to assess everything. Yeah.
Assess everything. And so we've decided to sell all our pigs, and we've had to sell our sheep herd too. That one made me tear up. I like them sheep.
Yeah.
But anyway, and so we're actually breeding our dairy herd back to it's called a Fleckvieh. It's a dual purpose breed out of Germany. And so they flesh like a good beef cow, but yet they milk really well, and they have the components of a Jersey.
Wow.
It's amazing. And we just ran onto these guys here probably last fall. And Big Bear Genetics, the guys are out of Canada. Yeah, John Pop is his name, and I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning his name. I'm sure he won't complain. It's we're really excited to get those kind of into our herd. But
I mean, John, don't you think to succeed in business now you have to be really flexible and be able to kind of change on a dime depending on the times and your resources?
Yeah, absolutely. And I apologize for jumping around a little bit, but
no, that's fine.
I was going to bring that back now that we've assessed everything. Like, we've realized the dairy really is our home base, and that's what really is making our money. And it's our cash flow, and that's what we really need to focus on. So all the other enterprises that we had going, they're going bye-bye. And I do listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've heard the term death by diversity.
Yeah, you got too much going on.
Yeah, and we kind of thought we were immune to that. And we've realized that we weren't immune. And so it's been a good thing for us to really assess. And this being a licensed facility now has really helped kind of bring that home and made us focus. And we're actually excited for summer now. We're going to stay home and not try to put up hay all over the world and lease pastures all over.
So people can come and have ice cream on the farm. Is that what? Yeah. Can you tell us about that? Yeah.
So we are still finishing up a new edition. We added onto our store the fall of 2022. We added on it's a 30 by 40, so about 2,000 square foot addition to our farm store. It's a double story. It's really cool. I should get you I wish I could get you a picture of it, but
We'll just have to come and visit.
yeah, absolutely. And so there's seating areas now for people to sit and have their ice cream. And one of the areas is our new ice cream production room where people can actually watch it being made. And we're growing so much in the ice cream that we've kind of been forced out of our main creamery where we've been making yogurt and ice cream. And so as both those products grow, boy, they needed to be separate. And so it was a good move for us. It's taken a couple of years. We do most of it all ourselves. So the upstairs is going to be a conference room. Part of it is, and there's some more seating, but we have a big scooping area. We got 2 different dipping cabinets. So we have 16 flavors always to choose from in the summertime when we are scooping. And then you can buy our meats and our raw milk, locally raised eggs. We don't have chickens anymore ourselves. They're all sourced local.
Nice.
We bring in some cheeses from, it's local-ish. It's in Logan, Utah, called Gosner's. It's a big outfit. And then our yogurts and our chocolate milk. So yeah, you can get about your grocery list, like you say there, Sarah.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of campers that come through.
I was going to ask, do you
summertime.
have Harvest Toast? I think I saw you have Harvest Toast.
Yeah, we do.
That's cool. I've stayed on a few Harvest Toast spots. I'm going to tell my husband.
I laugh because it's been a good thing for us, but we're getting so overran with everything else that we're going to kind of put a little
You're
hold
a
on
selective Harvest Toast.
that. Yeah. And anyway, it's been good. We really enjoy, for the most part, all of them. There's been a couple that we wanted to,
Run off.
John, in your assessment of the business, John, have you also looked at sales channels? Because I know you've got the ice cream shop, which people are just walking in, but you also have your wholesale accounts. So, as you were weighing it, did you identify any that you were going to okay, we're going to chase these 2 or 3 sales channels?
Yeah, definitely. The wholesale has really helped us. Well, just in a cash flow aspect, the wholesale has. Yeah, it doesn't make you as much money as somebody walking in and scooping here, but it's really, really driven home our cash flow and made us realize that, we can really solidify our business, I guess. I mean, we've been at it for quite a while, and you would think that we were solidified in things, but as you said, that you got to be flexible and I think willing to, you got to be honest with yourself. And I feel that we went through a phase that we weren't really honest with ourselves on some of these other enterprises. We sold our beef mother cows here 2 years ago. And that has actually been, that was a tough decision for me personally, because that was kind of my love, I thought, but it's been amazing what really it has done and what it started just by making that decision, because here we are, and we're going to be a lot better off because of it all, for sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Fleck V genetics. Are you looking to kind of, in the dairy herd, combine the best of, a beef herd and a dairy herd by having, say, dairy steers that you can't milk a steer, able to be grass fed and then butchered for beef?
Yes, definitely. That's the goal. And especially it's even more valuable when you have a cull cow, honestly, that she'll look like a beef. And even if we say we don't keep those steers for 2 years and finish them out, at least we can voluntarily select a cow out of the herd if we had to. But we're a couple years from that. Obviously, we just started AI and blood. So,
Well, we always like to ask if you have any advice for people who are kind of dreaming up a business, especially since your family has gone through so many changes. We have a lot of people that have an idea, but they're not quite sure if they're going to do it. Do you have any advice for them?
Well, I don't. I guess I don't really feel qualified to give advice at this point, but
Oh,
I,
sure. It's free. It's free advice.
I have always had the attitude that you've got to do something that you love.
That's good
And
advice.
and I've had off the farm jobs. I've only been full time on our farm for 3 years now. Three years, I believe it's three. And that was always my goal ever since I was a kid, is I wanted to just be on the farm. Now, I did not know what that looked like. When I said earlier, never in a million years would I have thought that I would be making yogurt and thinking up ice cream flavors.
Mhm.
I would have laughed at you. But
The thing about them is they're great consumables. Like people need it every week.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it just took me probably a lot longer than other people would have taken to finally realize and accept that.
Mhm.
I feel, and so doing what you love, but then also being flexible, because you never know. You may think that, like myself, grass-fed beef, that's gonna be my thing, and I'm gonna raise all these cows and make all this money. When in reality, it's in a different direction under the same umbrella. So being flexible and being open-minded, I think has been some of the biggest help for myself. And I think I can speak for my dad as well. He probably should be here with me, but he's as open-minded as a guy as you'll ever meet. And so that has really helped our business as well. But then running it like a business and learning how to do that sometimes isn't as easy as it sounds, especially in agriculture, I believe. But my dad had an off the farm job his whole life.
Mm.
And so it's been a big change and a big mindset change for everybody in our family to say, this farm is a business. We have to run it as a business.
Yes.
And if we don't, what are we doing it for? Because we're just running ourselves crazy.
And until you spend 100% of your time on something, you really aren't going to be able to give it 100% and make it 100%.
Yes. Yeah. And when I worked at our local mine, it's a phosphate mine. And, when I made that decision to go full time here, in the back of my mind, we and my dad, we had this discussion. We just knew that we weren't going to be able to move our business to the next level without, us here 100%, just like you say, Sarah. And so it was a scary, scary move, because at the time it didn't make any sense financially. It really didn't. But yet we just closed our eyes and we took the leap and trusted God that this is what we were supposed to do. And well, we're still here. So I guess we're supposed to be here, because we're still going.
Well, it's 8 years.
Yeah.
I think 7 years is kind of the turning point if you can make it past 7. So I'd say you're doing a good job.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. So we'll keep going.
Well, I think it's scary for people to take that initial step, but I think if it's something you really want to do and something that you really believe in, I think you should do it. And you did, and you're still here. So congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, we have a long way to go, and we've made every mistake in the book up to this point, and
that's part of it, though. I mean, that's part of this journey, is that when you're doing things on your own, you make mistakes, and if you get through them, then that's part of it.
That's why they
Right.
say never cry over spilled milk.
Yeah.
I was showing some students how to strip the outside of a multi-layer bag last week. And as I was peeling back the layers of the bag, it was going great until I got to the bottom and the whole bottom fell out and there was flour everywhere. And I'm like, this is an example of not crying over spilled milk.
Yeah.
And they just all started laughing. And I said, it just stuff happens in the food industry. You just have to clean up and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think not intending to be an ice cream man has made it better? Sometimes we get so focused on like, we're going to do that. We get too narrow-minded. But if you wanted to raise a good beef cow and now you're really just managing dairy cows for the best milk, like how do you think that's made it better for how you wanted to go?
Well, I think honestly, I think because I've had to learn, I didn't know anything about the ice cream section. And so I've had to learn it, hard knocks. And once I decided that, okay, I'm going to do this, there was this mental shift that I was finally able to just accept that. And I didn't think I knew everything. And so I was teachable, I think. And I don't know everything now. Holy smokes. There's so much to learn with it. And we try to do better every day. And like Sarah said, in the food industry, there is so much that can go wrong in a matter of minutes. And in the production, I mean, we have dumped so much milk over the years, and there's been ice cream made that just doesn't turn out, and you just throw it out the door, you close your eyes and
keep going.
You keep going. Yeah. You just keep going, and
I was
you don't cry.
talking to a guy today, and he was telling me, I don't want to waste the wrapping materials when I'm trying to figure out how to make the product, have a longer shelf life. I'm like, I worked for a company that wasted like $1 million worth of food just commissioning a processing line. I think if you spend like $100 on packaging or something, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do something new and something different.
Yep.
Your ice cream shop seems like a really good testing ground for flavors. What has been the worst flavor that customers have told you? What's been the best one?
Oh my goodness. Last summer, I got 3 brothers. So there's 3 brothers. I had 2 home last summer. Anyway, the one was helping me in the creamery, and he was helping make ice cream, and he dreamt up this flavor. It was a ginger. Oh my goodness. A ginger ginger pieces with rum. I think it was a ginger rum. Yes. And I think we had 2 people say that's good. And
was
and
it
we
candied ginger?
Yes, it was. It was. It just didn't work. Yeah. And anyway, we made a couple batches of that, and I ended up throwing it out this fall. I just thought out. We use these reusable plastic scooping tubs, and so I just threw it out to the pigs. They liked it. Nobody else did. But our most popular flavor, when we first started, there's a flavor called Holstein Supreme, and it's basically an Almond Joy candy bar. And that one has always been a big hit. But the most popular chocolate one, we call it How Now Brown Cow, and it's a Oreo caramel variegate with an Oreo pieces.
Yum.
And we use a special cocoa. I know we're running out of time, but see, there's a whole nother history here. My dad, we used to process milk in glass returnable bottles here.
Okay.
For a couple of years. And that's a whole nother story. But anyway, my dad had a cocoa recipe that he got from an old boy in the Midwest. And the company was called Dairy House. It's since been bought out by a a big food conglomerate, international food products. Anyway, they still have the same cocoa mix that my dad used. So we use that cocoa. I can't tell you the number because that's
Don't give
secret.
us the secret.
Yeah. And so that recipe, that same cocoa we use in our chocolate milk, we use it in our ice cream as our ice cream cocoa as well. And so it's a little bit different of a chocolate base,
Nice.
I think, than your traditional Ghirardelli's or however you say it. That's something you can get on Cisco or whatever. But anyway, so those are some of our popular flavors. But we when people come here to the farm, we have a playground. In fact, we just upgraded this year for kids to play on. And then we have our calves and a few calves and hutches if they're not being raised by their mom. We try to keep as many calves on the milk and moms as possible. So we just take what milk's left over. We milk once a day, 100% grass. Our system, we're finally feeling like we're getting it. We're learning something, I think. But and so people love to just wander around the farm. We have a few sheep, just basically for show and tell. We've kept some sheep and we've kept a couple sows, just for people to enjoy and see and smell. They love those smells. So,
Well, they're eating their ice cream cone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Feel like
Drives
you're on
home
the
the
farm.
authenticity. Yep.
How many visitors do you have come through Shumway in a season, in the summer season?
We were just looking at numbers here the other day, and I can't tell you like throughout the year, but through last summer, we thought we were busy as heck, and it felt like we were busy as heck, and it was. But our numbers said we scooped 15,000 scoops here off the farm.
That's good.
And yeah, but it felt like 30. So we're like, well, okay, well, I hope. So this year we're updating our signs. We have a series of 4 to 5 signs up on the main highway. And as people are coming, it'll say 5 miles of the farm, experience the farm.
Ice cream for ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream. And so that's kind of our main driver. And it has worked pretty well over the years, but we're only capturing, I wouldn't even dare guess, but a very small percent.
A free ice water sign like Walt Drugs.
Hey, that is a good idea.
There you go.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we hope we can scoop 20 to 25 this year's our goal. Because it's as the train gets chugging, we feel like we're getting more and more phone calls almost every week of just different questions, different areas. Hey, we'd like to sell your products. And so things are picking up for us, and we're really excited for the future.
That's cool.
Well, unfortunately, everybody, we're out of time, but it was so wonderful to meet you and hear about your business and hear about all the great things you're doing. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us today.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I hope I wasn't too all over the board. So
You were awesome.
You just had a lot of things to tell us about. It was great to hear about all of them.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
Yep. We record Masoni and Marshall live every week. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform like iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you to our audio engineer, Lon, and our production assistant, Chelsea. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can DM us on our Instagram at Masoni and Marshall, and we'll be back next week, everybody. Bye.
Bye for now.
You're listening to the Startup Radio Network. Listen, learn, launch. 10% of our gross revenue goes directly to women entrepreneurs in developing countries around the world through Kiva's microfinance program.